Hi everybody. Just trying something new, little different intro to that. That music is free, royalty-free music from Bensound. It is called Funky Element from Bensound. Just trying a little different, little slightly different intro to kind of change things up a little bit. So, hi, this is Tina Frazier coming to you from Columbus, Ohio. Today is Tuesday, June 6th at approximately 9:45 p.m. Eastern Time. And you have reached my YouTube channel where I talk about my love of cross-stitch, my love of crafting, other hobbies that I'm into, and all kinds of other things with a little bit of life thrown in. So thank you very much for stopping by. Hopefully you'll find something here on my channel that will enable you or encourage you or inspire you to create and get some new hobbies or get inspiration that you might need. You'll have to bear with me a little bit tonight. It looks like my second screen is being a little weird. It's going black a little bit. So I don't know if that means the screen is going or not. But anyway, this is my YouTube channel where I talk about cross-stitch. Today's video is going to be mostly about cross-stitch. Thus, it's going to be my FlossTube number 157. FlossTube is a subset of YouTube channels where the creators of content talk about their love of cross-stitch and just the hobby of cross-stitch in general. And this channel is no different. My FlossTube videos, this is number 157. I've been doing these videos for you for a couple of years. So welcome to my channel if you're new. I try to record these videos. I was hopefully going to be doing these every week. Initially, they kind of spread out to every other week, and most recently they've been every 3 to 4, maybe 5 weeks, depending on information and updates and everything that I have for you. But tonight's video is going to be about cross-stitch. As I indicated, I have some updates and some news to share and some plans, exciting plans for this month of June. And also share with you some updates from since my last video. I did get some stitching in, so I have some updates for you and also some haul. So if you're new here, again, welcome to my channel. Hopefully you'll find something here that will inspire you or enable you to pick up a new hobby or to just reach out. I love hearing from new friends, so hopefully just leave me a comment below. Let me know how you found me and also where you're from, and maybe we can connect sometime, either just here on YouTube or maybe even in real life, because I do get out with my mom to go to cross-stitching events, and I have some news about that coming up in my June plans. So hopefully you will be able to join us sometime soon this year at one of the events that my mom and I are going to. If you're a returning watcher, thank you very much for coming back. Hopefully you'll find something in this video that you like. And I don't know why my thing is doing that. I don't know. Anyway, my screen is distracting me over here. It's like flashing and doing weird stuff. But anyway, hopefully you'll find something here that you like in this video and get inspired as well. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you very much. It's great to spend time with old friends. And there goes, I don't know why it's doing that. Yeah, I don't know if it's just, I don't know. Anyway, I'm gonna have to figure that out because I don't know. Anyway, hopefully you'll find something in this video that you really like, and thank you very much for coming back. Again, it's really great spending time with old friends. It's just really acting weird, and I don't know why. All right, but anyway, sit back, relax. In this video, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about some life updates. I have a retreat that Mom and I are going to next weekend that we weren't planning on going to. So be on the, on the watch or on the lookout. Have your ears tuned in for more information about that. Some exciting changes since my last video. So we're really excited about that. And I'm going to share some of my plans for June and going forward. I joined a new FlossTube or a Facebook stitching challenge group, so I'll be talking a little bit about that. I'll be showing some progress updates on some of my projects. I have a big bag over here that has all my projects that I've worked on since the last video, and some new plans, partly to go into where we're going next weekend, and also some haul to show you. So if you don't have a drink already, I encourage you to sit back, grab a drink, grab your stitching if you want to stitch along with me as I talk and share with you, or whatever you decide to do. Put me on in the background and listen as you clean your house, whatever floats your boat. We're all here. Just want to say June is Pride Month, in case you don't know that. I like to consider myself an ally. I still have a lot to learn. I still have a lot to grow with being an ally and being an accomplice, I guess, is Dee's 20 Stitches likes to call us accomplices. I think that's the term she'd rather use as opposed to an ally. But yes, this is Pride Month, and have a little thing. My husband and I were at Hot Topic, and they had these little Disney Mickey hands with the pride heart in the middle of it. So I bought this. I'm going to turn this into one of my needle minders. So this is one of my haul things. So this is going to be a pride needle minder that I'm going to have for Pride. So anyway, it's Pride Month. This channel is safe. So if you need help, I will do my best to find you help. If you're local to me, reach out. You have a place to stay here with me. So I give mom hugs, everything like that. So I know I probably just stepped on all kinds of different things saying that, and I probably shouldn't as a accomplice or ally, but yeah, just know that I support everybody. Love is love. That's the way. There is only one love, and love is love, and love is for everybody, no matter who you are. So yeah, that's all I'm going to say about that. So happy Pride Month. If you're in the community celebrating, great. I look forward to hearing all your stories and all your events. And if you need somebody to drive, look me up. I'll be more than happy to drive. So yeah, all right. So a couple life updates. We had a very interesting weekend. Friday night, my husband was down here in his basement on his computer, and he all of a sudden came running upstairs. He goes, I need you downstairs. I need you downstairs. I come down, and I had just gone to the bathroom, come downstairs, and there was water leaking from the bathroom upstairs into the basement. And we weren't sure if it was the sewer line or whatnot. So we have a home warranty for, my monitor is not doing well right now. Anyway, so we weren't sure if it was a sewer line or whatnot. We called the home warranty, the company, to send somebody out. They sent somebody out yesterday on Monday, and it turns out it was the P-trap under our bathroom sink. We have mom's bathroom upstairs and our bathroom upstairs. It was the P-trap. The P-trap is that little U-shaped piece of pipe that comes down from your sink and goes up and then into the wall. It's that little thing. There was a big hole right in the bend, and it wasn't holding water anymore, which is why we could hear the toilet flush in the kitchen sink. Yeah, because the P-trap holds water to keep sewer gases from coming through the pipe and, keep you from hearing the toilet flush and whatnot. And we didn't know it, but the P-trap had leaked all the water out. Anytime you were running water, the water was going down into the hole, into the bottom of our cabinet, our sink cabinet, and going towards the wall, and going down the wall, and going into the basement. So that's where all the water was coming from. 10-minute fix. Guy was in and out in 10 minutes. Easy fix. Did cost us a little bit of money, but, at least we found out it wasn't a sewer pipe. We were kind of afraid that it was sewer issue and everything like that. So yeah, other than that, don't really have a whole lot of information. So I am going to get into a really good announcement that I have for you this week. So, not long after my last video, I got a message from my local cross-stitch store here in Columbus called Cross My Heart, They host a stitching retreat. It used to be, for the last 20 some years, they've hosted a stitching retreat every year. And it's been usually in the fall in Amish country up in Berlin, Ohio, which is about an hour to an hour and a half drive, kind of northeast from Columbus. And it was usually in the fall. Last year at camp, they announced that the retreat dates for this year were changing, and it was going to be the last weekend in June. Well, my husband and I are avid board gamers, and we go to Origins Game Fair, which is an international board game convention held here in Columbus, Ohio. And it happens to be the last weekend in June. We go every year. I volunteer. We run games. We go Wednesday through Saturday, sometimes Sunday as well. We spend almost all day long at the convention center playing games, buying games, wandering around, talking to friends, just meeting a bunch of people and playing games. It's a lot of fun. So when they announced at camp last year that the camp dates were the same weekend as Origins, I got kind of sad. Mom was a little sad because Mom's been going to the retreats with me since we moved her here with us in 2019 after my stepdad passed away. And she understood that the reason why we wouldn't be going to Camp GottaSttich in the fall this year was because of the date change and that it was the same weekend as Origins. So anyway, jump ahead, or in this case right now, jump back to I think it was about a week to a week and a half after my last video. I got a voicemail message from Jenny, one of the owners of crsmyhrtlt, and she was letting me know that due to some snafu, there was a date change for Origins, or not Origins, Camp GottaSttich. And she was calling to let me know that there is a date change under the hopes that I might be able to change my schedule and change whatever plans I had made to attend camp. So I let Mom know that the dates of camp had changed, and I talked to my husband. I let him know the dates of camp had changed, that they were moving to the weekend before Origins. So the 16th, 17th, 18th, and Monday the 19th if you pay for the extra night at the hotel. So I told him, I gave him the price point for it, and I told him that they still had openings, and they were wanting to know if Mom and I would be interested in coming because they still had enough openings that, we could still register. It was less than a month away. And my husband, did some calculating and some thinking and everything like that, and he determined that we did indeed have the money to go. So that following week, Mom and I filled out our form. We took it over to crsmyhrtlt and we paid for registration. Mom and I are going to Camp GottaSttich. Camp GottaSttich is the 16th, 17th, and 18th, and through the 19th, if you pay the extra hotel night for Sunday night, is in Berlin, Ohio, and it's hosted by crsmyhrtlt. I don't know, being that it is about 8 days away, I don't know if you can still get registered for it because I think they had to have had the room bookings to the hotel like a week or two ago. So I don't know exactly if you can still register to go if you're interested, but it is in Berlin, Ohio. You can fly into Columbus if you can get a flight. It does start Friday evening. The doors to the stitching room open at 6:03. Yes, they picked 6:03. It's not exactly 6 o'clock, and it gets everybody's waiting around at 6. Doors open at 6:03 Friday night for the stitching room, and you just sit and stitch all weekend. When you register, you let them know if you are a linen stitcher or an Ada or Aida stitcher, and through the weekend, they give you small kits and small projects to take home with you or to do there based on your stitching fabric preference. And it's really kind of nice. It's just really a laid-back stitching convention. There's usually about 60 people there, give or take. It's in Amish country. The hotel that it's at is really nice. It's at the Berlin Grand Hotel. in Berlin, Ohio. So it's, it's going to be a fun weekend next weekend. Looking forward to it. I'm really glad that Mom and I can go. We weren't going to go, so that's why we have registered for the 2 Stitching in the Springs retreat. We went to the Stitching in the Springs in March. We're also going to the Stitching in the Springs retreat in Yellow Springs, Ohio in November. And we are also going to one up in Youngstown, Ohio in October. That one is a smaller group as well. Your registration for the one in October is simply your cost of the room. So of the stitching room, they get one of the conference rooms there. So they just split the conference room up. The conference room, I think, is $350 for the weekend, but they say, okay, we're going to have 45 people, and they split that 350 up by 45 people. That's what you pay. So you can get your hotel room and your food for that is on your own. For Camp GottaSttich, though, the hotel and the food for your weekend stay is included in the cost of the retreat. So yeah, you're going to pay a little bit more, but the entire retreat, your room and your food, is included in the cost of your registration for Camp GottaSttich. The Stitching in the Springs, you register for the camp and then you register for the hotel separately that it's at if you want to stay at that hotel. Or you can just register for the retreat, and that includes your food, but it doesn't necessarily include your hotel if you're not staying at the hotel the retreat's at. So there's a couple different options you have, and the Stitching in the Springs and Camp GottaSttich are smaller conventions, or smaller retreats. And I haven't been to the one in Youngstown, Ohio yet, but from what I understand, it's a relatively small one too. So we have 3 retreats, 4 sessions, but 3 retreats that we're going to this year. Camp GottaSttich is next weekend, you guys. Mom and I are looking forward to it. So part of my plans for going forward is figuring out what projects I'm going to take, what new starts I'm going to take, what whips in progress I'm going to take, and trying to figure out what my plan of attack for next weekend is going to be. So I have a week to figure it out, and then we're going to pack and then drive up. Like I said, it's about an hour and a half drive from here in Columbus. It's a real easy drive to get up there, and it's really pretty. It's up in Amish country, so it's a great time. The only bummer about Amish country is everything shuts down on Sunday. The sidewalks roll up early on Saturday night, like 8 or 9 by 8 o'clock, and there's nothing to do on Sunday because everything's closed. So we're just going to kind of sit around the hotel and stitch and enjoy each other's company and just have fun. So Mom and I are really looking forward to being at camp. We weren't going to camp this year until they changed the dates. There was some snafu with, whatever going on, and the dates had to be changed. So yay for us, the dates were changed, but in a way, also not such a yay because, it hits the pocketbook. But anyway, speaking of retreats, there are a lot of people this week and next week traveling to the Cincinnati, Ohio area for StitchCon. If you watched my channel last year, I went to StitchCon for the first time last year. Had an absolute blast. I don't mind crowds. Crowds don't bother me, but it was way overwhelming. There's 300 people that go to each of the 2 weekends for StitchCon. It's split into 2 weekends. This coming weekend, this Friday, Saturday, or Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday is weekend day. Were I going to StitchCon, I would have been probably going to weekend B this year, but I did not even get on the wait list. After my experience last year, StitchCon was great. Met a lot of great YouTubers that I follow, met a lot of great friends that I'd, been conversing with online. I finally got to meet them face to face. Hi, Don't Run with Scissors, Kelly Green. She and I are doing a stitch along together, but I met her, met quite a few other people, and it was a great time, but it was overwhelming and it was a lot of money. So for me, personally, StitchCon is going to be an every 2 or 3 year event. So I may consider getting on the wait list next year, or I may wait until the year after to try and get back on the wait list for it. But yeah, so StitchCon is happening this weekend and next weekend as well. Weekend A is this weekend, weekend B is next weekend. So you may be hearing a lot of chatter online about StitchCon. It's a big to-do. And it's put on by Barbara from Keepsakes Cross Stitch down in Cincinnati. and Pam and Steph from Just Keep Stitching. Stephanie is an employee of Keepsakes, and she helps Barbara and the other Keepsakes staff put on StitchCon. And you'll know Stephanie if you ever watch Just Keep Stitching. Stephanie and her mom Pam are funny and they're great. So yeah, you'll get to meet all kinds of it. The premise behind StitchCon is bringing FlossTubers and their fans together. That's the whole premise why StitchCon got started. And it's just kind of blossomed out from there. So if you're ever into the who's who of the FlossTube community, typically they go to either weekend A or weekend B. You'll tend to see a lot of designers, a lot of fabric dyers, floss dyers, just all kinds of people there that you may not necessarily always get to see. So if you're going to StitchCon, have fun, enjoy the trip. Hopefully you won't get too overwhelming. There's a lot to see, a lot of eye candy, and it's a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to maybe going next year. I don't know if I'll go next year. It might be the year after, but we shall see. Mom doesn't go with me to that one. It's a little too big for her, and she doesn't follow YouTube channels like I do for cross stitching. So for her, meeting all those people that she watches online, she doesn't watch anybody online. So she wouldn't kind of know. She just want to sit and stitch. So these smaller retreats are better for her. So anyway, there's a lot going on in the cross stitch retreat world. All right, so that was a little bit of my plans and a really big update. So Mom and I are going to Camp GottaSttich this next weekend. Have my notes here for you, the little list that I keep. All right, so I kind of talked about camp and a little bit of my plans. So I am going to actually get into progress updates before I get into haul. So this is my clipboard that I keep next to my stitchy chair that has all kinds of forms on it. This main form is broke down by every 3 months, and it lists all the days for the month in a column. And what I usually do is I write down the project I'm working on and how many stitches I stitched on it that day. So I have kind of a track of what projects I stitched on and how many stitches I got on that day. The highlighted days are usually holidays and days off of work that I have, so I know what's coming up. You can see here in June, there's a couple of highlights on some of the days. I haven't yet put in the 16th through the 25th yet. I haven't filled that in. I am off Friday the 16th and the entire next week after that, because Friday the 16th, Mom and I are going to Camp GottaSttich. Monday the 19th is Juneteenth. It's a federal holiday here in the United States, Juneteenth. And I have that day off. And then I have all of next week off because of Origins, all of that following week off because of Origins board game convention. I will be volunteering for three 3-hour shifts, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday at the convention. So I have that whole entire week off. Makes it really nice because I can start off my week-long vacation stitching with Mom in Amish country and then go to my board game convention that week. But anyway, this is my clipboard. I have all different kinds of sheets on here. This is a tracker that I came up with because I joined way too many Facebook challenge groups. So this is a tracker I came up with where I write down the date, the project that I'm stitching on, and then whatever challenge group I'm stitching for and the number of stitches I need for that particular challenge. So this month so far I've been stitching for the daily X stitch group, which is the daily cross stitch group. The whole goal of that is to sit and stitch every day. Haven't been doing that a lot. I've been doing it quite a bit, but I haven't been doing that a lot. For each day of the month that you stitch, you get 10 points. You can rack up your points throughout the year, and she has different drawings and different things that you can request. Let's see, I've been stitching Magic Stitchdom. Magic Stitchdom is a Facebook group where you're trying to build your amusement park, based loosely on Disney's Magic Kingdom, why it's called Magic Stitchdom. You do events for items for your shop. You can stitch for rides. You can stitch for character costumes. You can stitch for characters. You can stitch for golden statues. You can stitch for all kinds of stuff. The month of June is the movie Moana. I haven't seen Moana. I'm planning on watching it sometime this month. There's stitching prompts based on the movie as well that you can stitch for, different things you can do. There's pop-up events and whatnot that you can participate in. The one new group that I joined, so this is a little funny story here. After my week or two after my last video, I've been looking at different Facebook groups, and I've been involved in different Facebook challenge groups over the last couple of years. And earlier this year, I was getting kind of burnout. There was a lot going on in this one group, and I was finding that I wasn't really wanting to stitch a lot, and they were really kind of, we need you to stitch. We need you to stitch. Can you get 500 in 2 days? I was like, oh, I don't know if I could get that much in 2 days. And I was just feeling kind of overwhelmed and not like I wasn't really contributing to my team, because I was on a team. Wasn't really contributing to my team. So I decided that I was going to kind of step back from more of those groups. Well, there's this one Facebook group called Survival of the Stitch Village that I had kind of had on my radar for maybe 6 months to a year. And I happened to click on it, and I was reading through some of the descriptions, and I was like, oh, this sounds like it might be okay. So I clicked join group, filled out the questions, clicked submit, and I was waiting for my approval in the group. Alara the Stitcher, who is a YouTuber as well, Alara the Stitcher. I met her at the Stitching in the Springs retreat, actually, face-to-face last year. And we kind of got to know each other and got to be friends a little bit. She sent me a Facebook message kind of that night, and she's like, is that the same Tina? Are you the same Tina that's trying to join the Stitch Village stitching group on Facebook? Blah, 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 blah. It's really a lot of fun. So I pinged her and asked her a lot of questions. She goes, because if you're going to join, you're going to be on my team. I was like, oh, okay, well, because I had just canceled my request when she reached out to me, because I was still kind of waffling whether or not I wanted to be in another group like that and be on a team. So she said, oh, it's really just kind of laid back. You just kind of stitch when you can, and there's some of us that stitch a lot, and some of us that don't stitch much at all, and just some of us that only stitch on weekends. And I was like, okay, well, sure, I'll sign back up. So I went back and signed right back up that same night. Got put on her team. So I am in the Stitch Village. We are the brewers for the team. So we're we run the bar, and we have orders and stuff to fill every week, and there's pop-up things and different things that we can do. So I'm on the team with Alara the Stitcher in the Survival of the Stitch Village Facebook group. So I'm going to be putting links to all these Facebook groups that I mentioned on here down in my description box below. But so I was stitching for that since about mid-May. I do pop culture stitching. They do a lot of different things based on pop culture, a lot of different prompts and pop-up events and whatnot. Then there's the 24 Hours of Cross Stitch. The 24 Hours of Cross Stitch group got started because a group of people decided that they wanted to do a marathon, a 24-hour cross stitch marathon one weekend, and they decided to post an event on Facebook, and it went mad viral in the cross stitch community. And so then it kind of evolved from 24 hours straight, Friday afternoon to Saturday afternoon. It went from that to people were like, but I don't know that I can stitch a full 24 hours straight, blah, 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 blah. I'm going to need to get some sleep. And so then it was like team sleep, team no sleep. And then it's like, blah, blah. So now it's evolved into the 24 Hours of Cross Stitch Marathon Weekend, where you go from, I think it's now starting Thursday afternoon when you can, to Sunday evening. So in that period from Thursday to Sunday, you have the opportunity to do 24 hours of stitching, whatever you want, however you want to break it up. If you want to do 24 projects, if you want to do 24 new starts, and it's usually one weekend every quarter. I think the next one isn't coming up until July. I think the next one is in July, because we had the 24 hours of cross stitch marathon weekend back in April. So the next one isn't until July. It's every quarter. And so the premise is just to get on and join that. They have an acrostic every month. This month's 24 hours of cross stitch acrostic is happenstance, I believe, is the one for that. But yeah, I have some tracking sheets and some WIPGO. I'm in WIPGO, speaking of which. Anyway, so the 24 hours of cross stitch group has an acrostic. Pop culture has an acrostic as well. Magazine Monthly Challenge Group is a group that was started by Carolyn Zook of C Zook Stitch here on YouTube. She has a YouTube channel. I mention her quite often because she does a lot of flip throughs of magazine issues that she gets in the mail. But she started the Magazine Monthly Cross Stitch Group probably close to 2 years ago now. It might even be almost going on its third year. I'm not 100% sure of the timeline, but the whole premise behind the Magazine Monthly Challenge Group is to stitch your magazine projects, because a lot of people have magazine subscriptions, or you get to just cross stitch Halloween and Christmas ornament issues. The whole premise behind the magazine is to stitch your magazine projects, because she knows a lot of people, you know, they may have magazine projects, but most of the focus in a lot of other challenge groups are those bigger projects. Your Heaven and Earth design projects, your full coverage projects from Artisy or Charting Creations or White Willow Stitching, Golden Kite, you know, all those other ones. Some of your bigger designers, Doreen Jones, Mirabilia, Frosted Pumpkin, Lindy Stitches, The Blue Flower, Hands-On Design, Stitching with the Housewives, you know, all the other designers that are out in the world, the zillion designers that are out in the world. There's all kinds of, you know, focus on those different pieces. One of the things that gets left out, except for maybe the ornaments from just cross stitch, are magazine pieces. So every month you have a theme, which they give you a generic theme, and then they also give you an acrostic. So the premise behind the theme and all that for Magazine Monthly Challenge Group is they'd like you to pick the theme as a magazine piece, and then you can do the acrostic as either all magazine, half non-magazine, all ornaments, whatever. This month's theme and acrostic for Magazine Monthly Challenge, I don't have my sheet filled out because I haven't yet figured it out, is the theme is farm and the acrostic is manure. So my theme for farm would probably be Amid Amish Life. I am doing that one out of the magazine that it was published in 1987. I believe it was Cross Stitch and Needlework magazine. Or no, it was either Cross Stitch and Needlework or Cross Stitch and Country Crafts magazine from 1987. That would probably be my farm thing because it's an Amish farm. And then from the acrostic is manure. So basically you pick a project based on the letter of the word. It can be designer name, chart name, something in the chart, a color in the chart, you know, a theme like, oh, I get migraines. This pattern gives me migraines. M for migraine, you know, stuff like that. So you can pick your charts and patterns, works in progress based on the letters of the acrostic and enter them in. Then you set a goal, and your whole goal is to complete this by the end of the month. I haven't been doing really good at my Magazine Monthly Challenge acrostics. The 24 hours of cross stitch acrostic challenge is happenstance. I have 2 of the P's already done. I don't have the pop culture one printed out. But anyway, so there is also the free cross stitch challenge group also has their Stitcho monthly challenge. You get a stitching goal. The June's goal is 5,000 stitches. You get entered in a drawing if you complete the 5,000 stitches. You get 10 points to be entered in a drawing if you complete all 5,000. For every row of 1,000 that you complete, you get 1 point. And then they have a Stitcho bingo board with different prompts in it. You just mark off when you do them. You can do multiple ones in a day. And then you get points based on the top for what you complete. You can find this in the free cross-stitch challenge group. They post this the last day of the month for the following month, so you know what the challenge is. Oh, I just have a bunch of. But yeah, so I have different tracking sheets. I also have a planner. Do I even have that here? So anyway, I have planner sheets that I have printed out because I have kind of this year I'm doing a kind of a cross-stitch planner of my own where it's all my cross-stitching stuff. I used to keep it in my passion planner that I use also for work and life, but I've kind of broke it out a little bit. Anyway, I'm also in WIPGO. WIPGO is where you create a bingo board at the beginning of the year with up to 25 projects on it with goals for those projects. And every month, 2 numbers are called. For those 2 numbers, you work on those 2 projects in those squares for that month that they're called. That's the premise of it. Now it's your board, your rules. You can do whatever you want. This is my WIPGO board. So the 3 squares that are completely filled in are completed. This purple square here is completed. These 2 dark blue, dark purple squares were May squares. They are also completed. I have not filled them in just yet. So I have 3 squares that I have to fill in. For June squares are square number 4, which is up here. Square number 4. It is my long dog samplers, pandemic. I have to stitch 5 days or 500 stitches. And then the next one is square 16, which is right here, which is Sing a Song Sampler, Do Re Mi. I have to finish a box. Technically, I have done the Do Re Mi sampler because I've been working on that on Sundays with Kelly Green from Don't Run with Scissors. It's a Sal that I had started my Do Re Mi watching The Sound of Music during Christmas. I want to say the year before last. It might have been last year, but I think it was actually the year before last when I started it. I could be wrong about that. But she decided that was a great idea. And she's like, well, can I do that with you? And I said, sure, well, let's make a sample out of it. So on Sundays, we kind of came up with, in passing, that Sundays was going to be our Sing a Sampler Sunday. And so we're trying to stitch on those on Sundays. We don't always get to working on the project on Sundays, but for the month of June, because it is my square Sing a Sampler Do Re Mi, for June, I am probably just going to work on it when I can and not really try and work on it Sundays. I kind of let Kelly know that. So hopefully we will get to that. So yeah, there's a lot of different things going on. There is Stitch Into the Wild, which they post prompts every month. Stitch Into the Wild, we are stitching for animals. And I believe this month it is Greece. I left the other sheet that I had, the planner sheet for. It is upstairs. I do believe it. Nope, it's right here. I have it. So this is what my stitching planner looks like. So this is the first week in June. You can see that I have put over here days I stitched, what I stitched on, different events going on, and then I have some of the projects I was working on for the week, or tasks for the week. This is this week, so I didn't stitch yesterday, and as you can see, I put record FlossTube on Tuesday for here. So some of the things I'm thinking I'm considering stitching in. Traveling Stitches is another Facebook group that posts a monthly prompt, and you do all the different prompts. This month, we're doing England. Stitch Into the Wild is Greece. It's wildlife that you'll find in Greece. So you do, one by one by one. And it's usually a goal of 200 stitches. You kind of set your goal, but they'd like you to make it at least 200 stitches. So for every 200 stitches you put in, you can capture an animal. As I said, Magic Stitching was Moana. And then we have Sane. stitchers. Their this or that theme this month is water or land. So I'm probably, if I can get to it, I'm probably going to be working on Hidden Harbor by Heaven and Earth Designs, because I'd like to put a little more time into that. And Magical Stitches, we are reading the Jennifer Chiaverini Chiaverini Elm Creek Quilters Club books. This is not this month's book. This is a future month's book. Actually, it might be this month's book because I'm technically 2 books behind now. I'm still reading April's book. So we're reading the books, and then there's stitching prompts that come out for it. But the Elm Creek Quilts books by Jennifer Chiaverini. These are actually been really good books. The one for April is about the Underground Railroad, and it's actually really kind of cool. I'm really enjoying this one. But I read at night right before I go to bed, and most nights this last week or 2 I haven't been reading. So I'm like way behind. And that is for Magical Stitches. So we have prompts for that based on the book. We have Stitch Village, Daily X Stitch. I talked about WIPGO. I talked about lots of different things going on. So all these different Facebook groups. I will be putting the links to the Facebook groups, hopefully all of the ones that I mentioned, and maybe a few more thrown in for good measure, down below in case you're interested in checking out the different Facebook challenge groups that you can join for stitching. They really get you motivated. Sometimes you get burnt out for stitching. All right, so I'm going to get into some progress now. All right, so let's see. How are we doing on time? I'm still recording 42 minutes. All right, I think I'm doing all right. So I recorded my last FlossTube on Monday the 8th. So it's been pretty much a month. It's been 4 weeks since my last update. I joined the Survival of the Stitch Village on the 9th. I have it written down. I have it written down in my thing. So I've been in Survival of the Stitch Village about a month, and it's been a lot of fun, having fun with that. So the first thing I did, this piece was on my WIPGO. So the first piece I worked on was the Seahorses from Fireside Originals. It's the Seahorses of the month. This was a set of patterns published by Carol Grant, who owns Fireside Originals. She is one of the co-owners of Cross My Heart. Boy, that thing's acting really funky. I don't know why. But anyway, so it came out as a set of patterns, Fireside Originals. There's 12 of them in this set. The model at the shop had them all stitched together. I had started this, this came out in 2018. I had started this sometime in 2018 or early 2019. And I had started with the February ones, which is these 2. And then I had worked over to this one. I'm going to do them all on one piece of fabric, just like this. This calls for the 32 count Marl Lake, M-A-R-L, from Crossed Wing Collection. And I'm using the called for DMC flosses. But this is how I'm stitching it. And for WIPGO, I actually didn't get this. I actually did not work on this at all for the month it was called. This was called in... This was called for May. So I did work on this, and I did complete the stitching on this in the month it was called. So where I was, the one I worked on was this one here. This is called Snowflake. It was from January. I only had a little bit of his head up here stitched. So I stitched almost his entire body for May. My whole goal initially on WIPGO on this was to finish this seahorse, finish one seahorse, but I changed it to 500 stitches because I'm trying to be a little easier on myself this year. So this is where I'm at on the seahorses. He's coming along really nicely. It was actually really kind of nice just to be able to stitch all one color and, you know, hit my 500 stitches. I actually stitched about 685 stitches on the seahorses in May. So I kind of knocked that out of the park. I may take this to camp with me to work on it a little bit more because Carol, the co-owner of Cross My Heart, you know, she's obviously going to be at camp because camp is a Cross My Heart retreat. So I might take this with me to stitch at camp so I can show Carol some of my progress. If you are having trouble getting all 12 of the designs, I know there's been some people out there that have reached out to me asking where to get it. I can get you the contact information for Cross My Heart. Since Carol is a co-owner of Cross My Heart, she'll be able to dig up the patterns for you. But yeah, I have all the patterns here. For this one, I am working off of paper copy. I have paper working copies of some of my patterns that I'm not doing in Pattern Keeper. And this is one I am not doing Pattern Keeper, so I have a paper chart. So that was seahorses. I've done 685 stitches of it since my last FlossTube, or for the month of May. Yeah, I worked about 200 stitches before my FlossTube, but I worked a total of 685 stitches on it for the month of May. The next project was my Sing a Sampler series, Do Re Mi. This is in my Garan toten bags. My Garan toten bags. Christmas tote bag. This is the 12 by 13. If it's an 11 by 13. So initially, when I had put this on my WIPGO board, I said I wanted to finish a square. And technically, in March, I did finish a square. So I was working on Fa, right here. I was working on this square, and I did finish it in March, but the square wasn't called until June. So in May, I was working on Me, a name I call myself. So my goal now is to just finish the square for June. That is my goal. I'm going to finish Me and get on that. But that is where I'm at. I'm almost close to finishing Me. So that is kind of where my goal was. My initial goal for the beginning of the year was to finish a square, was finishing this square, but I'm actually going to finish this square. So technically I'm doing a little bit more this year, but hopefully I'll be working on this more and more and more. When The Sound of Music comes on TV, I'm going to be watching The Sound of Music again on TV, and I also have it on DVR and DVD and whatnot, so I can kind of pretty much watch it whenever. So that is where I'm at. I am using the called for colors and everything like that. Kelly is doing a color conversion that she found online that she likes a lot better. It's a lot brighter. Part of me kind of wishes that I would have found that color conversion before I started this, but I kind of like these colors. The more I do the original colors, it's growing on me a little bit more. But anyway, so I am here in Me, a name I call myself. So that is where I'm at with that. This is also a Garan Toten Bags grime guard, I do believe, because I was getting their grime guards for the longest time. But this is in my Christmas poinsettia bag because I started this during the airing of The Sound of Music around Christmas time. So this is the bag it sits in. It's a little snug getting it back into the bag, but there we go. Oof. Okay. So that is my Garan, or my Do Re Mi. So the next project I worked on this year was Victorian Christmas Eve. This is a magazine piece that I started for actually the Magazine Monthly Cross Stitch Challenge group. So this is a Nora Corbett pattern. This was published in the Cross Stitch and Needlework January 2008 issue. This is Victorian Christmas Eve. You can tell it's a typical Nora Corbett. But yes, it's Victorian Christmas Eve. So where I had started at on this, I'm just going to fold it kind of backwards. So where I had started at, I had a little bit of this area done, which if you look on her dress is right here, the arm going into the little warmer, hand warmer. That is where I had started. And I filled out, I had a little bit done here, but I filled out a good majority of this to put in my 500 stitches on her. This was a WIPGO square finish as well. I used a combination of, just to let you know, I use a combination of Q-snaps, scroll frames, once in a while round hoops, but I mostly use Q-snaps and scroll frames. And on my scroll frames, I use the Easy Stitch Velcro tape system. So this is, I have on my scroll frames, I have the fuzzy part of the Velcro on my scroll frame rods. And then I use this part of the Velcro tape system on the top and bottom ends of my cross stitch fabric that I'm going to cut off when I'm done stitching. And I Velcro these on. It makes it real easy to pop projects in and out, especially if you're somebody like me in Facebook challenge groups where sometimes you have to switch stitching based on the prompts. I just find it's real easy to work with. Almost all of my scroll frames, I am converting over to these. I have never liked the basting ones where you have the strip of fabric that's stapled onto the rod. I've never liked that because I could never get it basted on straight. Never liked them. And then I was using a split rod dowel frame for a while, and I didn't like those either because sometimes they'd cut the fabric. They were also, the fabric would slip. I didn't like those either. So I found the Easy Stitch tape system. If you watch a couple of my older videos, I actually walk you through how to transform your scroll rods into this basting, this Velcro tape system. It's in, I did them a couple of years ago. But anyway, if you want to watch those, I encourage you to do that because it makes swapping of projects in and out real easy. And yeah, so I keep a couple of scroll rods, scroll frames by my stitching chair upstairs in our sunroom. And I can just swap projects in and out real easy. My scroll frames tend to be about the 28 to 36 inch wide ones. So, you know, a project like this will fit real easy on there. I can pop it in and out. You know, if I want to work on it one night or 15 nights, I can pop it in and out and swap it real easy. But that is Victorian Christmas Eve. My next one was a birthday start from last year. So this one I started last year, and then this year for my birthday, I promptly frogged everything and restarted it again. Because when I started it last year, I was doing 1/1 full cross. And this year I decided that to make it go faster, I wanted to switch it over to tent stitching. And I did a little area next to the full crosses. I had about 2,500 to 3,000 full crosses in on this piece already. And I did some tent stitching next to it. And because it was black, you could really kind of tell the difference between the full stitches and the tent stitches in black. So I ripped everything out that I had done and restarted it for my birthday this year. This is the stained glass Hello Kitty piece that I picked up on Etsy. This is what it looks like. I am working up here in this corner, Ganyudon. So yeah, I'm working. This is a pattern that I got off of Etsy. And I'm doing it on 32 count, easy count fabric. So it's the pre-gridded fabric that you can buy from Heaven and Earth Designs. And I'm doing it 1/1 tent stitch. So in March after my restart, the restart area is getting a little harder to see now because I'm starting to cover it up. But I'm actually still working on filling in Ganyudon up here in the corner. So this is stained glass Hello Kitty. I'm working on getting it on. You can kind of still see a little bit of the shadowing, but it's getting harder to see. It's getting covered back up. So I thought I may be taking this to Camp GottaSttich with me, but I don't know. So this needle minder, little neat story, needlework Galleria, or Nashville Needlework Market. Cross My Heart goes to that as a shop every year. And they were browsing one of the rooms at Needlework Market this year, and they came across a new needle minder person. And Jenny, the owner of Cross My Heart, she looked down and she's like, oh, they have a Hello Kitty one. Tina would like that. So they went ahead and got it for me, not knowing for sure if I would buy it, but they also knew there's a couple other people that might buy it if I didn't want it. So they brought it home, and after Needlework Market, Jenny's like, we have something for you if you want to buy it. And I was like, okay. So I showed her. I was like, oh yeah, it's Hello Kitty. I want to buy it. I really like Hello Kitty. I have a lot of Sanrio boxes here. This apron here is Hello Kitty. I have the My Melody thing there. Have a little Hello Kitty banner here. I have stacks of t-shirts that are all Hello Kitty. I have, are these the Hello Kitty ones? No, I don't have the Hello Kitty ones. Hello Kitty markers, Hello Kitty pens. Hello Kitty, Hello Kitty, Hello Kitty. I have Hello Kitty everywhere. Yeah, so I'm a big Hello Kitty fan. That's why I started the Hello Kitty stained glass window thing. Anyway, so moving on. My next project after that that I picked up was saltwater scrapbook. So the saltwater scrapbook is a collaboration piece between Stephanie Webb of Lindy Stitches and the Blue Flower, Janine McGowan of the Blue Flower. So it came out as 2 parts, and you could stitch them all together like this. This is how I am stitching it. I ordered the kit with the fabric and the project bag from, I believe, Lindy Stitches when this came out. When did this come out? 2021. In 2021 when this came out. So I did get the project bag, which is the whale. It is a vinyl front project bag. And I also got the called for fabric in 40 count. So, for the month of May, I believe this is this a May? Seahorses, no, this is a June, no. This is for March. This is March's WIPGO square. So, the goal is to finish the square. So I had already had all this started, so I worked on the water here. So I'm doing the boat square. This is 40 count fabric. This is the called for fabric, 40 count. So I am doing the boat on the wave up there. So I finished the octopus. The octopus is stinking cute. Look at that octopus, you guys. It is just stinking cute. This is probably going to go to retreat with me because I like working on the 40 count. It's been a lot of fun. I have been wanting to get doing more 40 count, 36 count, 22 count hardanger over one because I like the smaller pieces. For pieces that have beads like the mirabilias and stuff like that, I'm probably going to stick with 32 count because the Mill Hill beads work pretty well on 32 count. If I go much smaller than that count-wise, beads are not going to fit in the pattern. So if there's a lot of beads in the pattern, I'll probably stick with 32 count. But anyway, that is my saltwater scrapbook. I started this in September of 2021. So that's probably going to camp with me this weekend so I can work on it some. And then the most recent one I picked up, I kind of have put my other stitching really aside for this one. This is one I started last year for Pride for June. This is by MI Studio Create on Etsy. This is the Progress Pride flag. And where I had started on this, I did this for a lot of prompts last year that required specific colors. So I had every single color started on this, but not finished. So I finished the white stitching, the stitching in the teal blue, the stitching in the brown, and the stitching in the black. So all of those in the flag are done. Now I've got to do all the separate rainbow colors all the way across. These are needle minders that I picked up last year. This was a button that I had found at Joann's that I turned into needle minders. I have like 6 of them, but it's just a rainbow spiral. And this is one I got off of Etsy last year. I don't remember where I got it, but it's the Pride mug. And I really kind of like it. So to go along with my Mickey Mouse hands, I still have to take the pin back off of this one and glue a magnet to it, but this will also be kind of added to this piece. Assuming that I get the magnet glued on before I finish this. So my goal is to stitch on this pretty much until this is done. I don't have much to go on this. As you can see, whoops, it's upside down. Sorry about that. I don't have much to go on this, as you can see, and it's all solid stitching. So as long as I get one color over to the end, I can pretty much fill in the rest of it. It's going to be quick stitching. This is on 22 count hardanger, white hardanger. And I am stitching this over one full cross, one thread full cross. So you can see. FYI, here's what my back looks like on this. That is what my back looks like. I have pretty decent backs, I think. This one tends to be cleaner than most, just because I am working color by color. But this is cleaner than most. When I start threads, I tend to use the loop start. You can do loop start with more than with 1 thread, 2 threads, 3 threads, 6 threads, 15 threads, whatever. You can do loop start because that's what I do. If you're interested, leave a comment below and I will post a link to YouTube video where it shows you how to do one-stranded loop start. I also do a lot of pin stitch and start and end. So depending on my feel, it's either pin stitching or loop start. That's my favorite go-to. So if you're interested in that, just let me know in the comments and I will try and link you to the videos where you can learn how to do it yourself, because it's been a lifesaver for me. I usually pull one strand of floss, fold it in half, and do the loop start that way. But you can do one-stranded loop start. It's not really hard. It's just learning a different mindset. But anyway, I'm hoping to have this finished for June this year. I'm going to hopefully make this into a pillow. I haven't yet decided or found a font that I want to use because I think I want to add the words "You're safe here" or "Safe place," "Safe haven," "One love, safe place." I don't know, something like that here. So I can display this in my living room all the time and people can see it. So those are the projects that I have been working on so far. And we are at a little after an hour. So, alrighty. Alright, so we are going to get into haul. Alright. Get this back in here. Alright. Sorry about that, you guys. Alright. Get this back in here. That's for Pride. For those of you that have been watching my videos, know that every so often I order floss from Mo's Sale. Every year for Christmas, my mom and I get the 12 Mo's Sale 12 Days of Christmas box. And in May, they had offered a set of rainbow colored floss that they were planning on using for Death by Cross Stitch by Long Dog Samplers. and they were going to do a sale, you know, basically for Pride. I ordered a set of the rainbow mole sail floss. Beautiful, gorgeous colors. There's 18 colors in here, and each one of these is 17.4 yards. So it's rainbow colors of mole sail floss. And I was going through my fabrics just to see, because I was either trying to figure out if I wanted to do Long Dog Sampler's Death by Cross Stitch, or if I wanted to do the Twisted Band Sampler. And I have to check my Etsy purchases because I don't think I've done it. But if you do, give me just a minute. I'm gonna pause this and I'll be right back. Okay, so I went out to Etsy and I found it for you. This is the Twisted Band Sampler. You can find this by Northern Expressions Needlework on Etsy. This is the Twisted Band Sampler. You've probably seen people doing it. This is what I was initially picturing as being my piece that I was going to use the Mo Sail rainbow flosses for. But I didn't have black fabric. So I was like, okay, well, let me look through my stash to see if I can find a piece of fabric that would do it. I don't think I've purchased the pattern yet. I wanted to do it on 40 count because I didn't want it to be super large. And the Mo Sail floss, I would definitely have more than enough color to do 40 count. So, okay, let me do this. Oops, there we go. All right, so I was digging through my stash and I found, you know, I had been getting Be Stitch Me Fabric of the Month this year. And I had this piece of Fabric of the Month flosses from Be Stitch Me, or Fabric of the Month. It is called Gorgeous Grape. So here it is, Gorgeous Grape. It is a 40 count Be Stitch Me fabric. Let me do this. Make it easier. Fold it in half. Get it ready as if it was going back in the package. All right, and I will pull out a good chunk of the Mo Sail flosses. So, did a floss toss on it, and I have decided that this is going to be my fabric for the thing. Oh! So I don't know if you can see that. It is going to look absolutely stunning on this fabric. I think this is what I'm going with for the Northern Expressions Twisted Rainbow Sampler. This one has specialty flosses, specialty stitches in it. You can order just the cross stitch only without the specialty stitches, but I think I'm going to do the specialty stitches, see how they look on 40 count. I might just leave them as specialty stitches, but that is my plan for this. So I have the Mo Sail floss and Be Stitch Me in Gorgeous Grape for the Northern Expressions Twisted Band Sampler. Like I said, I don't think I've purchased the pattern yet, but that is my plan for these fabrics. So that is what I've received since the last thing. I may have made that decision before last time's video. One of the things I'm thinking about taking to camp, there was a pattern in the Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher magazine from the 2018 summer issue. It was Liberty. It was the dog, cat, and mouse in the teacups. I had dyed this fabric last year. Personally hand dyed this fabric last year using RIT dye. So this is the fabric that I'm going to use for it. Here are the floss colors. I pulled the floss colors for it. And I'm going to do all three of them in a row on the same piece and make them into one long pillow. And this is over one. I believe this is 22 count Hardanger as well that I hand dyed myself. So this is probably going to camp with me. I have this one in a Goose project bag, I believe. Yes, it's a Goose project bag with the floss bed in it. So this is probably going to camp with me. It would be a really fun little quick stitch. And it's coming up on July, so if I could get it started at least, I'll be kind of working, you know, appropriate seasonal stuff for July. So that's one going to camp with me probably. Those of you that have also kind of been following me for a little while know that recently, earlier this year, I joined the Shannon Christine Design subscriber group, and we have a couple of oh, well, great. It's telling me that it's out of memory. So every month in this Shannon Christine Designs subscriber group, you can find out more by going to the Shannon Christine's Designs group, not the subscriber group, the Designs group, to find out how to join the subscriber group. She has information there about it. She gives out free patterns ahead of time every month. So, you know, you pay your monthly due and you get a free pattern. This was May's pattern, Fun in the Sun. I may have already showed this. I'm not sure when this will be released to the public. It might already be released this month, but we get the projects, the patterns early. And then, so she announced the beginning of this month that she was also doing the release of some house patterns that she had previously released in a magazine many years, like 6 years ago or more. She couldn't remember the name of the magazine exactly, but this is the housing piece that she this is the houses that she released in a magazine before. They're really cute. She started us off with June, so we have June's pattern right here. It's the June pattern. So she is doing June for us. And then the pattern for God, it's doing goofy stuff on me. Okay, so then the pattern for June is, well, this is the one that, you know, I just showed you. So you can download those every month from the Shannon Christine Designs group. I had purchased four other patterns from Doreen Jones. We have, I'll just show them to you on here, even though I have them here. I'm going to go ahead and close this out now. There we go. So I went to the Doreen Jones, I think it's her Etsy group or her Etsy site, and I purchased 4 patterns from her called Pattern Cats. There's 2 square cats and 2 that are called Pattern Cats. These were the first 2 that I picked up, the Pattern Cats. Look at those cats, you guys. Aren't they stinking cute? And then she has a companion piece that is cats stitched the other way with different patterns. They are just stinking cute, you guys. And then she came out with square cats. Same thing. Look at these cats, you guys. These are just too cute. These are full coverage. Look at these. So for camp, I had found in my stash this piece of 22 count Hardanger that I had picked up on a stash unload group. I think I showed you these pieces of fabric last time. This is the pink one that had a couple of blemishes in it. I did kit up the floss colors for it. I will be doing the red ones. I don't know which of the 2 red ones I will be doing at camp. I will be starting at camp because they take the exact same thread colors. But anyway, I kitted up my thread colors using floss drops, and I will be doing them on this pink fabric. 22 count Hardanger, I'll be doing 1 strand over 1 full cross. So that is a goal of mine. I have these in my Pattern Keeper app as well. So I'll be using Pattern Keeper. And I am using the Hello Kitty floss drops that I made for when I went to StitchCon last year, Columbus, Ohio. Yep. Yeah, I went to StitchCon Weekend B last year, 2022. These were my floss drops that I was giving out. I had a bunch of extra ones, so I just kind of started using them for my piece. So this is going to be a piece that I start at Camp GottaSttich next weekend, hopefully. Haven't decided yet. Maybe you can help me decide. Do I want to start the 3 cats or the 2 cats? Maybe you can help me decide. 3 cats or 2. They're both the same size, and they all have the same color, so it doesn't matter which. 3 cats or 2. I think personally I'm leaning towards 3, but if I get more people saying 2 cats, I'll do 2 cats. But I think I'm leaning towards 3. And this, a lady had posted on Stash Unload that, she had been posting some of her project bags on Stash Unload that she had for sale. And she was wondering, she had posted a separate post that she was under the impression that there would be more people that really liked Hello Kitty because her Hello Kitty project bag wasn't selling. I'm like, well, send me the link. I'll go look at it. I bought the Hello Kitty project bag. It's a vinyl front project bag. It's made really nice. It's a nice, I think, 14 by 14 size. It even has a handle on it. It's really nice. She even sent me the matching grime guard. So I have a matching Hello Kitty grime guard to go with my Hello Kitty project bag. And this is going to be my travel bag for my pattern cats. I probably should put the Hello Kitty full coverage project in here, and I may swap it out later, but this is going with me to camp because it has the pattern cats from Doreen Jones in it. Yeah, so I have a nice project bag. I forget the lady's name. I have her card inside, but I forget the lady's name who made the bag, but I really like the bag. It wasn't too much. Actually, it was like 20 bucks. So it's pretty good. So I have a Hello Kitty project bag. My Hello Kitty thing is in this Mama Joan project bag. It was the happy birthday one. I put it in the happy birthday one last year because I was starting the Hello Kitty on my birthday. Because it was my birthday start or what I want to do. All right. So those of you that are Satsuma Street Stitchers, there is a Satsuma Street started a new let me get this closed out. I'm sorry, it's driving me nuts. All right, Satsuma Street started a new secret stitch along called the 4 Elements, and they have released the first one. The first one is water. I joined the 4 Elements, a Satsuma Street secret cell stitch along. So the first pattern came out. A lot of people are stitching it on black fabric. And I initially thought I wanted to stitch it on black fabric. It is charted for Cosmo Floss with DMC conversion. There's quite a few people stitching it with Cosmo Floss. I was like, well, I want the Cosmo Floss. I have very little bit of Cosmo Floss, but I want to stitch mine on the Cosmo Floss as well. And but I wasn't sure that I wanted dark black fabric. And I had a piece of 22 count white Hardanger fabric. And I was like, well, I have some Rit dye. I have some black Rit dye. Let me try dyeing black Rit dye fabric. So I did that. But then I was asking my husband, I was like, for 4 elements, the water, earth, air, and fire, what other color can I add into the fabric, because it's going to be modeled, to make the lighter modeling more dark and more whatever. So I said, I have a deep forest green, I have a red, I have an orange, and I have a blue. He goes, do a deep forest green if you're going to use black. This is what I came up with for my fabric. This is using Rit dye black. So these colors over here that look more purple, it's actually Rit dye black. And the greenish tint is deep forest green. So this is what I came up with. I think I like that side better than I like, well, I don't know. They're kind of different. I did the pickle jar dyeing method that Carla Being Crafty does on her channel. She has a couple of YouTube videos out. But this is the 22 count hardanger that I dyed for Satsuma Street. I did get the Cosmo Floss in over the weekend. I didn't get all the colors because Fat Quarter Shop didn't have all the colors, but I will show you them. The Cosmo Floss colors that I do have on hand, I'm probably going to supplement with DMC. So this piece is also going with me to Camp GottaSttich. I think it's going to look pretty darn good on this, actually. Yeah, so this is fabric that I hand dyed myself. 22 count hardanger using RIT dye, and I'll be using these Cosmo flosses that I got from the Fat Quarter Shop. So this is for the 4 elements. And I'll be supplementing it with DMC flosses. I'm going to see if I can order some of the ones that were missing off the Fat Quarter Shop, because there's about 10 or 12 of them that are missing. I'm going to see if I can find them elsewhere online and see if I can get them in before camp. If I can't get them in before camp, I'll either take the DMC with me so I can start this at camp, or maybe not. So, another potential camp start. So Mom and I, we usually take a couple of lights and some stuff with us to stitch with. When I went to Stitching in the Springs this last year in March, I had had a power tower that you plug in, and it got used a little bit. It got used one day, but not by me. And then I decided that, you know, I really wanted a rechargeable power charging little station thing. So I ordered a Halo. This is a, you can charge USB. You can jumpstart your car, which is what this one is. It has a normal outlet plug on the side. It also, this is super bright. I'm not going to blind you with it, but it has a light. Sorry. Has a light on the one end that you can use, and 2 USBs. So my thought was that I was going to get this. Mom and I use these lights, these USB, well, not USB, these bright, oh, it's not, oh, there we go. So we use these bright LED lights to clip onto our projects as we're stitching at the events, because you can change it. It's got 3 different settings on it. You're not going to be able to tell the settings here, but it runs off the batteries. It runs off of 3 AAA batteries. And we noticed at Stitching in the Springs in March that our battery power was running low several hours into the day. So like 3 or 4 hours into the day, our lights were going dimmer and dimmer and dimmer and dimmer. So I was going to try and get a replacement to change these to USB so I could plug them in to my Halo and everything like that. So we wouldn't have to keep replacing AAA batteries and going through AAA batteries at the retreat. So I went online. I found a 3 AAA battery replacement that you put the kind of dummy batteries in, and the one with the wire. The wire comes out and it has a USB plug on it, so you can plug it into a USB outlet. And I was hoping that was going to work, but when it came, it was AA, not AAA. So that came this last week, and I am having to send it back. So unfortunately, that is what I'm having to do. So I think for Camp GottaSttich this coming next week, we are going to have to resort back to doing batteries. I am still taking my Halo though, because my phone you turn this on for the wireless charging. And if you see here, it has the symbol here. Look at this. I can just put it on there and you can see my phone is charging up. Let me do that again. There you go. I can just lay my phone on top of it and it'll charge my phone. So that's one of the reasons why I got this. I got this halo on Amazon. And so I also got a carry case. I also got a carry case for my halo. The nice thing about the halo is it does come with the cables and stuff. So the cables are in here, including the jumper cables for your car. So there is that. So the halo is going with Mom and I. So we have a way to power up some of our stuff in the stitching room without having to use extension cords and the like. So this is the first time I've had this closed up. So there we go. Here is my halo in the carry case. So that was kind of a new purchase for me. As I said before, I am in the Bee Stitch Me Fabric of the Month. I got I think this is I'm in the Neutral Club. This is called Bronze Age. I think this is the May. It's either the May or June. I can't remember which. But that's really doing goofy stuff. So this is called Bronze Age. This is 40 count. Bronze Age 40 count even weave. It's a really nice neutral. Really pretty. Really nice. Really nice neutral. I like the modeling on it. I'll have to find something to use this for. But yeah, I am really glad that I'm getting 40 count because I'm finding that I am liking stitching on it more and more and more and more. So there's that. The halo. I showed you our lights. I don't know why that's keeping doing that. I don't know if the monitor's going or what. Alright. And then, for the last couple of years, I have been getting the Craftways Across-Stitch Christmas book. This is called Season of Memories. I got the new one in the mail last week. So this is called A Season of Memories. This is the 2023 hardback book. It is a hardback book. And it's by Craftways. There's some really cute things in here. This piece is by Doreen Jones. You can obviously see that. It's very much a Doreen Jones piece. There are some very cute things in here. There's an additional little booklet that came with the book called Simply Charming, with these small pieces in it. Can't show you the back because there's patterns on the back of this. But, yeah. They even have a few stitched on perforated paper. Those are stitched on perforated paper. So yeah, really cute designs. Really cute small ones. This is called Simply Charming. This is the free quick to stitch holiday motifs filled with folk art flair. There's quite a few really cute Christmas things in here that I'm really excited about. I showed you the calendar that I got. So there's this Santa piece here. Then there's this Christmas tree that kind of looks almost Hanukkah-like. Here's some angels. Really cute angels. I'm not going to do a flip through. This bird is really cute and folksy. I'll probably stitch that. There's just some really cute things in here. Let me go. Try not to show you the thing. Some gnomes. Look at the gnomes. The gnomes are really cute. The gingerbread house is cute. I like this Christmas village scene. That's kind of neat. The dog and cat are really cute. The Christmas baubles. Christmas bubbles. Here's the Doreen Jones one, Teal Green Greetings. The North Pole Tailor. Really cute. Merry Christmas. And the Biscornus. The Biscornus are cute. It's a reindeer and a Santa Claus Biscornu. And if you're into nautical themes, they have like really pretty nautical themed Christmas stuff. My husband just brought Harvey down her treat. What time is it? Oh, it's 11:20. All right. Some really pretty nautical themes in here as well. Yep. This is interesting. Mountaintop Merriment. Interesting reindeer. This fox is cute. Yeah. So really cute. That fox is cute. And a Christmas tree scene and some other small baubles. Skates and sleds. Look at the reindeer on skates. Cute. All right. So this is A Cross-Stitch Christmas 2023 Season of Memories by Craftways. So be on the lookout for this. You can probably do a Google search for it and see if you can get it ordered. But yeah, I did get the book in, so I'm really happy about that. You can also, I believe, check your libraries for the book. Okay, that is pretty much everything I have for you for this video. It's a lot. I know it's an hour and a half. Hopefully you've lasted this long. It's long because I had 4 weeks of information for you. Also stuff about Camp GottaSttich. I will put the information for Cross My Heart down below. You can call them and see if you can still get into Camp GottaSttich next weekend if you're interested in coming to Amish country, Berlin, Ohio. It's easy access from Cincinnati or Columbus, or even Cleveland area, if you can. All you do is stay at the hotel. You don't have to go anywhere. All your food's included. The stitching's included, everything like that. So you don't even really have to drive anywhere unless you want to go tour around Amish country for a while on Saturday, or if you're staying until Monday, on Monday, because Amish country closes down on Sunday. Sunday is not a work day for Amish country folks. So anyway, that being said, it was fun spending time with you tonight. That's all I have for you. I'm probably not going to edit this video much. What you see is what you get. That way I can just save it and upload it and be done. All right. So that's all I have for you this week. Keep your head up and keep moving forward. That's kind of my new logo. Harvey's over here scratching at her food. Tonight's drink is kind of a Dunkin' iced coffee night. It's not sugar-free or zero sugar. If they had a zero sugar, I would probably be buying this by the case or the truckload because I really like it. I like this better than the Starbucks Frappuccinos in the glass bottles. It's not as sweet. So I've been liking this. This is the French vanilla kind. Not sponsored. Just telling you this is something new that I'm into this week. Well, it's not new, but I'm into right now. So I'm going to finish up my coffee, get this saved, get this uploaded. Work has been hell, and lots of training, and it hasn't been good training. Lots of stuff going on. So anyway, I will let you go, and we will talk at you hopefully before 4 weeks is up. I'm hoping to do a couple of videos while I'm at camp next week. So be on the lookout for that. I don't know if I'll be taking my laptop. I might be taking my laptop this time to go live, maybe from the stitching room. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. Or at least do a video from the stitching room. Anyway, we will talk at you soon. again, keep your head up and keep moving forward, because that's really all we can do. And hopefully you're staying safe, you're staying loved, and you feel important enough. You belong here, especially with me. So reach out, please, if you need somebody on your side. I will do my best to find somebody that maybe can help you. But anyway, yeah, love is love. There's only one love. Love is love. And love is for everybody. And you matter. So anyway, that being said, this is a little bit of a long one, but watch it in chunks if you can, speed it up if you can, and we'll see you soon. I'll hopefully have some snippets from camp and talk to you a little bit about that, and we'll see you hopefully in about another week and a half, 2 weeks. Take care. Bye. No music on the way out tonight, you guys. Sorry, I don't have it ready to go. Talk to you later. Bye.